The funniest story from my immersion is I was told that I was going to a cockfight, but I didn't think that was true. I thought cockfights were illegal. I got to the cockfight, so we walked in, and I kind of became the ringmaster. Then they announced me at the cockfight as we had a Sphererocket VA cock, and then yeah. My name is Justin Nelson, and I am the CEO, which is Chief Environmental Officer.
My name is Joel Perso. I am the Chief Operating Officer for Sphererocket.
Valerie Queen, CTO.
My name is Moose Reed. I'm the Sales Director at Sphererocket.
My name is Daniel. I'm CMO of Sphererocket, and I'm here in the Philippines having a great time with the marketing team and everyone else.
Queen of Manila.
Manila Queen. All right, Tori. Yeah.
Matt Golba, VP of Sales.
There you go. I like it.
My name is Gabe, and I'm one of the sales managers at Sphererocket.
My name is Gianna Norton. Yesterday, we lived a day in the life of a Filipino, and it was so cool.
The number one takeaway that I have from the immersion is, I don't know, Albin and Shireen have matching ring fingers. I don't really know what that means, but I'm going to find that out later.
Number one takeaway from immersion was how welcoming and generous everybody was. Even people that we didn't know, not just the family we were with, but everybody we met. So welcoming, so generous, so respectful.
I think the number one thing that I'll remember forever is probably the cockfights. Just that's everyone's source of entertainment.
Number one takeaway from the immersion yesterday, that the Filipinos are the most warm group of people that I've ever met in my life.
So yesterday we had a great immersion program. We were able to be with the family as well as some friends within our own sphere in Sphererocket. And my biggest takeaway was that friendships can be made no matter the culture, no matter the differences that one has.
I don't know. It was just such a great day. We had a grandma, which they call Lola, and they fed us a lot of good food. And it was just an incredible day that I can't really put into words. It was an experience that I think I am very lucky to have been able to do. So.
Number one takeaway. Honestly, I think how hospitable MJ and her family were definitely made us feel at home immediately. And then one thing too that I just really enjoyed was just how they had everything planned for us, made us feel like a Filipino for the day. It was really cool.
They took each of us to I like to call them our host families for the day, and we got to go see the neighborhood that they live in. What is so cool about it is Lola, that means grandmother, she actually built the school in the local area, which I think is so unique.
Well, our host was Mamita Bell, and she was incredible. I was super, super grateful for the hospitality that she showed us. It was awesome. Number one takeaway, she shared a little bit of her faith with us, which was super cool because I'm a man of faith as well. Hers is different than mine, but we got to pray with her. It was really, really cool.
The funniest story from my immersion is I was told that I was going to a cockfight. I didn't think that was true. I thought cockfights were illegal. So I got to the cockfight, so we walked in, and we got 600-700 people looking at us, and then I kind of became the ringmaster. I got to do all the things in the ring with the chicken, but I wasn't allowed to actually unleash the knife with the chicken. Then they announced me at the cockfight as we had a Sphererocket VA cock, and then yeah.
Funniest story was probably watching some of my teammates try balut and struggle with it a little bit.
Seeing Justin carry a chicken onto the ring. The fact that Justin is so big that they said whenever he's holding the chicken, it looks like a chick in his hands instead of a full-grown chicken.
Funniest story from the Philippines yesterday was when we went to the wet market and we were bargaining for all sorts of different food. The best part of it was the women in the Philippines were obsessed with Matt Golba on our sales team to the point where they just would not stop staring at him.
Funniest story from the immersion. Well, I'm a pretty funny guy, but we were with Ven and Eric, who are pretty funny looking. So they're probably the top two funniest things about the immersion. The funniest thing, Balut, you thought my reaction to Balut was pretty funny? Yeah, Balut was pretty funny. I mean, I wish I never saw where Michelle bought it from. I mean, it was just a guy squatting in the middle of the corner. He was just like, you want Balut? And I was like, no, Michelle, don't do it. But she did it. And so I think that was the funniest part of it.
So one of the funniest stories from our immersion experience is we actually taught our Filipino family Smoker Fire, which is an American drinking game, and they absolutely loved it. And so we were just drinking, hanging out, playing cards, and they got really into it, and it was a great time.
Funniest story, probably dishing on moose the whole time. He was like a kid. Like every time he saw something, he had to point it out and ask us what we thought about it, and we had to tell him, Moose, we've also never been here before. So it was pretty great.
They took us shopping in the market. You know, we got to see live fish scaled and fresh vegetables and all the different marketplaces, and, you know, whether it was material things or food items, it was incredible. And we got stopped for so many pictures. I am already a tall female in the United States, so I'm very tall here. It's exotic, it's fun.
Funniest story, I don't know really the story, but I was trying to learn as much Tagalog as I could throughout the day because I'm really, really interested in different languages. That's a big thing I want to do while I'm here in the Philippines. The team that I was with was teaching me some phrases in Tagalog. We were kind of having a laugh at me trying to pronounce some stuff, so that was pretty funny.
Two things. Number one, that I miss my video editing team. Number two, that Albin's a great driver. Other than he almost got hit by a motorcycle today. We won't tell Shireen that.
I didn't know just how respectful the culture is, especially with elders. So, like, they'll call, people they're not related to, mom, dad, grandma, things like that. So I didn't know that. And I don't think I knew just how big Manila was. So I've heard it's, one of the most densely populated cities in the world, but just getting to see some different parts of it, it's huge.
Yeah, everyone is just very grateful, very happy. Everyone just always has a smile on their face, is very appreciative of everything.
First thing that I learned is that the traffic is crazy and the driving is crazy. Also, the form of traffic is quite difficult as well. I did not fit in the tricycle, and I also did not fit in the cab. What's that called, Joe? Jeepney. I did not fit in the jeepney, and I really had to duck walk around in the jeepney so that I could squeeze myself in. Everyone thought it was very awkward and clumsy. It was terrible.
Oh, man. So I have lived by the motto that Mexico is the most friendly and hospitable country that I've ever visited, and I've visited quite a few, and I stand corrected. The Philippines are the most kind and gracious people I've yet to meet. Filipinos are amazing, one of a kind. I did not expect to be surrounded by people who love each other so much and who love people visiting their country. The second is along the same lines, right, where no one's a stranger and everyone's family. And it's a very hard concept to really grasp or apply into your life. It's very simple to say that, I treat everyone the same or I treat everyone with kindness. But in reality, that's what you feel here. And I don't think there's a moment or a person that I've spoken to that I felt offended, I felt like less than. And I feel that the Philippine culture is really all about that everyone is family.
Two things I learned that I didn't know or expect. They don't have running water in their houses. I don't know if that's every house, but the house that we were at yesterday didn't have running water. And it was very interesting because that's just one thing that we're so used to in America that I feel like I've taken for granted. Another thing, how friendly everyone is. We were talking about how in America you don't really know your neighbors because we're not as friendly in America. But when you are in a Filipino neighborhood, you know everybody. You can walk around the neighborhood and say hi to anybody and they will be welcoming and greet you. And it's just not the same in America. So everyone's just really friendly.
Two things I learned. So one, again, kind of goes back to how hospitable they are. We had a driver that took us to MJ's house, and he just kind of was chilling in the car after the fact. And MJ was like, "Y'all didn't invite the driver inside?" And we were like, "No." She's like, "You're supposed to invite him in." So the driver comes in and just sits down with the family, he's known everybody. He just kind of plops down, looks over, just the daughter here, the boyfriend there, just kind of eating with us. And we're like, "Oh, cool." So didn't expect that level of hospitality, I guess. Another thing, Oh yeah, weirdly enough, getting treated like a celebrity. So yeah, it's cool, but kind of did not expect that.
The house that we stayed at is considered well off, which, is a beautiful home, 2 bedrooms, all of their family members live there, but they didn't even have running water, and that's considered well off, which, in the U.S., running water and toilet paper is just kind of expected. And I think that it was a culture shock, but in a really unique perspective, and the fact that, America has lost so much heart and soul in our communities and in each other. And, I'm going to go back smiling from this immersion and this trip, and I can't wait to spread the good vibes and soul and heart that was contagious from my Filipino host family.
I didn't expect to be treated so well. Like, the hospitality here is just above and beyond. Like, I've been to a lot of places. I've done a lot of travel. This is the 4th out of 7 continents for me. I only have South America and I guess Antarctica left to go to, and Australia too. But by far, the Philippines has been the nicest people that I've ever met.
One life lesson I have taken away so far is that I am as grateful as ever to be here. My life lesson is after we left last time, we wanted to hire a few thousand more people. We've accomplished probably about 20-30% of that. So my life lesson is to keep moving forward.
I love that the Filipino culture is really about taking care of each other. We were talking yesterday that we don't do as good a job taking care of each other in the United States as they do here. So that's something I want to bring back and just be thinking about with my friends, my family, my community. How can I kind of lead the way in taking better care of each other?
I think life lesson that I've learned the most is just to live in the moment. Coming here, I didn't expect to I guess the impact of everything that we've seen so far, and just being present and enjoying everything.
The biggest life lesson that I've learned so far, I know we're early on, but if the American culture was more similar to the Filipino culture, where they're just so inviting and so warm and so loving to everyone, I think America would probably be a much warmer place, right? Our culture is a lot more cold than what they're used to over here.
It's interesting. I think we go through our lives and we learn a ton of things constantly. And one of the greatest life lessons that I have learned is actually what happened today, is that service that Justin and the team have done. Shireen got together an amazing group of people along with her team, and we're able to give back to the community, a community that has really, really invested in and have loved Sphererocket for what it has done for them, and obviously what they have done for us as a company. It was really unexpected to feel that sort of love and feel that sort of thought in my brain being like, I need to do more service. And my wife has told me many times we need to do that. And for some reason, I've always thought of as something to do something grandeur, something so big. But in reality, even small things go such a long way. And that's a huge takeaway. I want to go back and I want to plan a trip. I want to do something in the States locally, but I also want to plan something in our home countries where our parents are from. I want to go to Colombia and give back. I want to go to Peru and give back, and just be able to do something more than just really focus on my own future, but help other people lift themselves in their future.
One life lesson that I've taken away thus far is really just how much we take for granted in America. We have so much and we expect so much, and we're very materialistic, and the people here are so kind and so nice, and they don't have quite as much as we do. So we definitely take advantage of a lot of the things that we have every day. They're much nicer and they don't even need the material things. So I feel like I'm gonna go home and be so much more grateful for everything I do have, but then also be more mindful that I don't need all of these things to live a good life and be happy.
One life lesson, again, kind of I think just goes back to very family-centered in the Philippines. Really cool. I really respect that about just the family structure here, how they've kind of just structured their lives, everything like that. So yeah.
Life lesson. Mamita Bell, our host yesterday on the immersion, was just an incredible example of charity and kindness to me and Edie that were staying with her. It was we were the ones coming into her home and intruding on her life. But yet she was the one to just be so accommodating and make sure that everything was perfect for us. She was so concerned that we were comfortable, that we were happy, that we were well fed, that we were rested. She just gave herself up entirely. That's definitely something that I want to strive to be more like personally.
Favorite food so far? IUD. I don't know what that stands for, but I'll have to show you a picture of it right here. I thought it was a birth control, because it was IUD, but it's something else.
My favorite food so far, so we had, and I can't remember what it's called, but our Yang's family made us like a spicy sour soup. It had pork and eggplant in it. It was fantastic. And then the adobo chicken.
Favorite food, definitely Edmund's mom's cooking. She made us some spring rolls, some noodles and rice and everything. It was all really good.
My favorite food so far has been the street mango juice.
Favorite food? Man, favorite food. It'll be along the lines of the pork or chicken intestines. That, for street food wise, was really, really good. I did like that. And I also liked what her mother made. It was like a glass noodle sort of dish with a pork belly that was like candied or caramelized quite a bit. It was nice on the vinegar. It did have a sweeter side than our Peruvian chifa kind of equivalent of it. And I really, really liked that. So I think that was the final meal of the day, and it was fantastic.
My favorite food so far has actually been the chicken intestines. I really enjoyed them. I'm a big texture person, and for some reason they were chewy, but the texture of that didn't bother me. Now, if we talk about my least favorite food, definitely the pig's blood. It was disgusting, and I will never touch it again.
Favorite food? McDonald's. No, they also had like this mango thing. It was good. I'm not gonna lie, most of the food I've eaten I've not enjoyed. I hate to say it, just not for me.
The cereal at the breakfast buffet. No. Okay, does it have to be food? Because I tried a little drink. Yeah. So we were at the mall, and I was like telling them how I want something like foreign and exotic, and they're like, what? We have Coca-Cola here, or whatever they've got. So we finally found this like little coconut stand, and they gave us a water bottle this big, and they punched a hole in the top, and there's like coconut milk and coconut shavings, and it was so good. I drank like both bottles. I shared a little bit with Tori and Joel, but I still have some in my hotel room 24 hours later.
The first night we were here, when we had all like the Jollibees and Big Macs, Shireen brought a dish that her mom made. I think it was beefsteak, and that was delicious. That was really, really good. And we tried some crazy street food, and they were a lot better than I thought. Not necessarily my favorite, but I never thought that I would eat chicken intestines without gagging them down. But hey, they were pretty good.
One thing I want to do for the rest of my trip is I want to keep showing the team the same experiences that I had last time. I'm doing some really cool things.
Besides drinking, I want to spend some more time having one-on-one conversations. So I really had an incredible time talking to Yang and Janice as well yesterday when we were with them for immersion day. So just getting some more one-on-one time to really kind of understand and get to know our team a little better.
Well, we didn't get to experience anything too crazy. I think just continuing to be present, like soaking in every moment, just getting to know everybody.
Spend as much time with Joe as possible. Joe is one of those sneaky, funny guys, right? He's like super quiet on the surface, you don't know it, and all of a sudden he starts hitting you and just dropping bombs like, you're like, wait, what'd you just say? What'd you just say, Joe? So yeah, spend as much time with the team out here as possible. Getting to know everyone's been a ton of fun.
For the rest of the trip, one thing I'm looking forward to is hanging out with the guys a little bit more and the girls in the marketing team. I think that's kind of been an unknown goal of mine before I came to this trip. And now that I'm here, it's like, man, I just want to spend so many hours with these dudes. These guys are awesome. They have such an energy that is contagious. And I really look forward to getting to know them better, getting to know their goals, and how can I help, or how can Sphererocket help them produce the content that they need, help the marketing team kind of scale up in any way possible, and being able to work more as a team instead of more as individuals. And how can we pretty much maximize that and kind of make a perfect, nice symbiotic relationship?
One thing I would like to do for the rest of the trip, just to make sure it's maximized, is continue to get to know people, continue to learn about the culture, explore, meet more of our VAs. It's been amazing to get to know them, and I really just want to maximize the entire experience as much as possible by getting to know more people.
Experience the nightlife. I don't know. Maybe find a karaoke bar. That'd be fun.
Oh my goodness. I want to continue putting faces to names when it comes to virtual assistants, because I think it's been so fun, and we communicate with them through Facebook, and their picture's this big. So as everybody's been running up to us and greeting us, it's been like, okay, who are you? Are you kind of discussing that. And I think that it puts such more personalization in that relationship that we have with our VAs and the people that make Sphererocket what it is. And I think that, we'll be more prone to listen and take care of each other. Not that we haven't already, but it's going to just add that much more heart and soul into Sphererocket structure.
Continue to immerse myself in the culture. I feel like, we're going to do a lot of cool things. We're going to go to Boracay and hang out on the beach and party and have a good time. But just try to remember and be conscious that we're in the Philippines and I'm around a different culture. And participating in that as much as I can while I'm here is really important to me. So continuing to learn the language, learn different things about the culture and traditions here. That's one of the most enriching parts of travel for me. So I really hope to just do that as much as I can.
What VA do I want to get to know better? All of them. What VA have I gotten to know better so far? I have actually taught and shown Valerie a whole bunch of the different virtual assistants, and we're working our way through the entire list.
Both Yang and Janice, we got to spend the whole day with, meet Yang's family, and we had a lot of good conversations. We talked about their experience with Sphererocket, talked about things that we're doing well as a company, things that maybe we could do better as a company. It was really, really awesome to get their perspective on the company from the inside.
Getting to know everybody, because I didn't know anybody prior to this. Getting to meet everyone because Justin hides me in a closet.
Gosh, the whole team. The whole team. Joe, Mel, MJ, MJ's entire family, everyone.
I got to know Michelle quite a bit. I got to know a lot of people quite a bit. We were surprised by CK, Rex, and Jeff at Michelle's house, but I got to know Michelle quite a bit. She gave us an amazing tour. She walked us around, talked a lot about her goals and aspirations. I had no idea she was an amazing singer. She is fantastic. If you need a singer in your parties, go ahead and hire Michelle. But in reality, it's she opened up her home to us, and she gave all her attention and love to us, and it goes a long way, right? When people are willing to sacrifice a lot of their time, a lot of the resources to provide for someone who's just coming to visit their home. I need to be a better host. I need to be a more appreciative guest, and Michelle has really taught me all of that, so I'm really grateful for her.
The VAs that we hung out with yesterday were Janice, Yang, and DJ, and I got to know them all better. DJ is pretty quiet, but he still was hanging out with us and having a good time. Janice and Yang are very talkative, and Yang was super welcoming of having us in her home, and Janice was very just forthcoming with explaining things to us. I felt like I didn't need to be scared to ask questions, and I didn't feel like I was asking stupid questions because they were just so honest with their answers and very happy to answer questions that I had.
MJ, and then also Melody and Joe. That's who we were paired up with. Again, super hospitable, very cool, very down to earth. Feel very lucky to have them as part of the Sphererocket team.
DJ. He's very quiet, but he laughs a lot. He thinks I'm funny or he thinks I'm very stupid, and I don't blame him. I worked with him a lot on my podcast, so it's fun to finally put a face to the name with him. He doesn't say much, but the pictures he takes of us and what he giggles at says it all. Yen was also very fun, and Janice. It was so fun hanging out with all of them yesterday, and I would like to get DJ to say more words to me.
Ryan and Norlin, they were with us yesterday on the immersion, and we just kind of hung out and ate and talked throughout the day. And they're super nice, super cool, really, really fun to hang around. And I'm really excited to meet the rest of the team tonight.